All right, hello, welcome to part 2. We just went over all the bony anatomy, so we kind of know generally what these are, where they need to be at, what helps control the motion at this bony anatomy, and that is the pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor is made up of 3 layers. That outer layer is going to really just comprise the little muscles here, right along that bony bridge right there. And then it's going to comprise some of the outer orifices of those sphincters. Second layer is going to be a little bit deeper. It's really going to help with that contraction and that closing when we think about the pelvic floor. And then the third layer is going to be the deepest. This is going to be that trampoline. So when I'm thinking about a pelvic floor and I'm talking to my patients about it, I tell them that your pelvic floor is like a trampoline. You don't want it to be too tight, because if it's too tight, then it's not going anywhere. You know, when you try to sneeze or cough, you want a little bounce to it. If you've got a way super tight pelvic floor, you might have a lot of pain that you're dealing with, and it's not going to have that same ability that you want. But simultaneously, you don't want it to be super duper loosey-goosey, because now every time you cough, sneeze, try to do anything, you're leaking a little bit. So there's got to be that nice, good tension in that pelvic floor. And that's really where the third layer comes into play, because this third layer is really providing some of that support so that you're not dealing with prolapse, you're not dealing with leakage, you're not dealing with pain. But then other things that you have to think about are the fact that because this relies on that pelvic floor to work the way you want it to, you want to have a good pelvic floor so that as you move and you walk and you go through your day-to-day activities, you're not getting too much motion through here. So really, your pelvic floor has a lot of jobs. It's not just, I need it to have kids or go to the bathroom. It really is, when I cough, sneeze, anything, I need that bottom of the pop can to make sure that I'm not just going to explode outward. And then I also need that pelvic floor to be working for me literally all day long, whether I'm sitting, whether I'm standing, whether I'm walking, to ensure that when I walk and do things, I'm not in excruciating pain all day long. So there are a lot of jobs, and I'll make sure that I add some more stuff as we go forward. So join me for part 3, where we'll talk about some of the mobility that happens at this bony pelvis and some of what that pelvic floor does.